The first thing you'll notice, there's a couple of things here. One is that you said that you want more presence on the site. So some people said, we don't want people to think that they've just joined HealthUnlocked. We want them to know that they've joined, for instance, the National Rheumatoid Arthritis Society. So what we've done is we've made it so that your branding will appear on every page. You might have seen this in some of the blog posts that we put out. But it stands out quite a lot more. So when we go throughout the website, you'll see that on every page, it's obvious this is the National Rheumatoid Arthritis or NCT or whatever community. The other thing is that the latest activity now isn't just divided in a small column and a small column of blogs and questions, but now it's all activity. So the reason that we've done this is because we know that when communities start, it can look quite bare when they first begin. So they have 5, 10, 15 members, and those members might put a few blogs, they might put a few questions, but for the most part it looks like things aren't happening. When in reality, sometimes things are happening, but what's happening is the commenting on those blogs and questions. So it's a way to help communities in the beginning kickstart it by showing things are happening so that when people get there, they can start interacting immediately. You can browse by categories. So we have these categories that Laura was mentioning before. There on the right-hand side. And those are things that you can set, obviously, so you can determine what those are. But you can use those. You can browse by them on the top left, right here. So that makes information easily findable. Then you have your pinned posts here on the right-hand side. So a lot of you have asked for this. So we asked you what you would use this for. A number of you said that you would use it to put things like your community guidelines or things like that. We envision that you could find some information that's quite helpful to other users or questions that are asked quite a lot, and that you would pin them in that position. Create a post. So this will look similar to the way it does now. You have your title, the body. You can add an image. But then here are the categories that you would choose from. And like I said, as defined by the admin. And then just the way it is now, who can view this? Everyone, for members of this community only. So that determines what Google can see and what people who aren't signed in can see. Then you can preview that post, which is still obviously the same. So we tried to enhance your presence not just with branding, but also giving you this About Us section on the site. So this in the main navigation, it was sort of hidden away on the homepage, but in a very small link, the About Us, and it wasn't very visible. So now we have a description of who you are, which you can put there. The people in your organization that are on the site, some of those will be admins, some will just be working for the organization, but will be there. Some contact information. Sometimes we get called and they say, can I speak to Ruth? And I'm like, this isn't interesting, you're going to have to call. You're going to have to call them. And then support us for a donate button. And again, we'll test sort of where these things should go, specifically the donate button, if it should go elsewhere in the community. But you'll be able to click the donate button and be taken through to whatever page you specified on your site so that people can donate there. Got a new admin section, badges. So you can now edit the badges. A lot of you have changed the sort of admin and the volunteer and then your truncated badge, whether it's NRAS or BLF or something, you wanted something different. So you now have the ability to change those and create new ones. And for some of you, you've really been asking for that. Some of you have asked less for that. But you can now have a bit more flexibility there. So it means if you have a doctor or a nurse or some other category that you want to be recognized in the platform by identifying people, you can do that there. New members over a given period of time. Similar things with content. Questions, posts, polls, votes on polls, content by category. You can see what's the most popular category just by coming here. We also have a profile for users. So the information that we're collecting here is more or less the same, except for now we're collecting the same kinds of things that we're auto-tagging in the communities. So conditions, symptoms, treatments, and health interests. Health interests might be if you have a parent with Parkinson's and you look after them. It's not your condition, symptom, or treatment, but it might be something that you're interested in. So this allows us, if we want in the future, to be able to recommend content to individual users. So the content that we've tagged throughout the entire platform, if we find that it's helpful for users to have that information who have rheumatoid arthritis, or it could be that just based on their health interests, they could be recommended content as well.